So I was clearing out my art space and I found these old film photos that I took on a disposable camera, and they were pretty awful. So I was like, how can I use these in art considering I don't actually know what to draw right now? So I chose 8 of them, lined them up, and then numbered them from 1 to 8. And then I used a random number generator to pick one. Turned out it was number 7. So that was this one. And I was like, cool. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint over this. So I was going to use the colours, the shapes and everything to paint over it to turn into a piece of art. Hi everyone, my name is Nick, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing for weekly art and film related videos. Today I'm going to be talking a bit about what to do if you don't know what to draw. Now I know there's a lot of videos out there doing different kind of takes on this, but I feel like this method is actually one that's not really talked about, but it's actually really helpful. So as you can see, I took this photo and I decided to paint over it, and I think this is a really good exercise because I'm never going to use this photo for anything, and we all have those photos lying around, and it's a good exercise for looking at things like colour, looking at things like shapes, which are all really helpful in terms of improving your artwork. So as you can see, what I just did is I took the basic shapes in the photograph and I started painting over them. Now, I kind of ended up going for quite a similar sort of theme with my painting to the photograph. That blue net at the bottom reminded me sort of like of waves crashing in, and the yellowy orange net reminded me of sort of like a sand colour. So I was sort of inspired by the colours of the photograph, but you could go completely sort of like off tilt with this. Like you could go completely abstract, or you could do something more like a portrait, or like the whole point is that there's no kind of right or wrong. You just do whatever comes into your mind. What you kind of have to do first is, because I was painting on that glossy photo paper that you get when you send off a disposable camera and it comes back, the paper itself is quite glossy, like I said. So, you know, that first layer, the paint kind of slips around a bit. So you sort of want to get those base colours down, and then once that's dry, you can then paint on top. What I also sort of felt was sometimes you have to be a bit careful because the paint might sort of scratch off. So I would suggest, what I've done is I like blue tacked it to my desk so it's not going to keep moving around, and so I can limit the amount that I have to touch it with my hands because I don't want to peel off any of the paint. So once you've done, I would suggest that you spray it with a clear varnish or something like that to protect it. I think currently it's really difficult to know what to draw. It's quite hard. I find a lot of my inspiration from going outside, and I know that we can now, but you know, it's more difficult to find inspiration, I think. And as I'm also really inspired by film and stuff like that, I thought that using kind of film photos would be a really cool way to get a bit of inspiration. And I just found these when I was clearing out, and I know we all have those kind of photos, whether they're just like old ones that we took or ones that you find in like a charity shop or thrift store in America. There's always like something that we can do with them, otherwise they'll just collect dust. I think if I were to do this again, then what I'd do is I'd probably take more of a sort of abstract approach to it. I think I took it quite literally, and although the painting is like pretty cool, I guess, I don't think it's the most creative way I could have taken it, just looking at the shapes. So I think if I were to do it again, and please let me know in the comments if you would like me to tack some of those other paintings, other photos, because I also realised like some of the other ones were a lot more sort of interesting and bad compared to this photo. So yeah, let me know if you want to see more of that in the comments. But I think, yeah, if I were to do this again, I'd kind of take it a bit more abstract, looking at shapes and colours and things like that more, rather than just turning it into a traditional scene. But, you know, it got me painting and it got me doing art, which was exactly what it was meant to do, so can't really complain. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing for weekly film and art videos that I post every Sunday. Give the video a thumbs up if you'd like to see more like it, and leave a comment below. Let me know if you've ever done this before and think it's a good exercise for when you don't know what to draw. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you next week with another video. Bye.